Claire Pearsall still with me, sat in the studio throughout that. That must have been a bit awkward for you. Former Conservative Government Advisor. Adam Bolton, again, I've known Adam Bolton for years. I actually consider him a friend, I have to say. Yeah. Known him for many, many, many years. Absolutely superb political editor at Sky News for many, many years, and still a broadcaster. But I was genuinely shocked when I saw him on telly yesterday, being really defending in lots of ways Mandelson and certainly his appointment. You know, and he would not. It was really interesting, Claire, yesterday, just now. He would not he would not say that it was a misjudgment by the Prime Minister to have appointed him. It was a risk worth taking. We were discussing on this. Back me up, folks. Back me up online and on air, saying that it was not a risk worth taking. This guy is unfit for public office. He shouldn't be appointed.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I mean, it's really interesting that he's got such a strong level of feeling towards somebody that has essentially let him down enormously as a friend, let alone as a political colleague.
And he says that he doesn't believe in cancelling people, and I'm with him on that. And I don't, you know, I've never been of the view that I should, you know, not be friends with someone we don't share political views or people, you know, things go wrong. I've got to be honest with you. I mean, I have worked with two people who've been convicted of paedophilia. Yeah, not weirdly. Never been in contact with them since that day. Sure. I've never found that difficult. And the only friendship I've broken off over political views is actually a long-standing friend of my old colleague Yvonne Ridley, and she's been on the show quite a few times. And I messaged her to say, genuinely, her views. I mean, I think the stuff that she spouts on social media it's not a difference of opinion on Gaza. You can have a different opinion on issues like that and Israel. I think, as I've said, I think what you post is anti-Semitic, and I simply I wouldn't be friends with someone who was posting, you know, any racist, you know, if you genuinely feel that way, I just don't think you're a good person. I just don't want to be friends with you. I think there are times when you do cancel a friendship if they do something awful or have horrible views or say horrible. I'm sorry, I think you do. I admire, again, find someone who loves you as much as he does, but he seems to think that it was right to go, that he may well face criminal investigation, but that somehow no one knew any of this when he was appointed in 24.
And I find that bit probably the most difficult, because Peter Mandelson had history. This was not the first time he'd been caught out in untruths. We all know that. It's been happening a long time. And for Gordon Brown, I really don't like the fact everybody's now sainting Gordon Brown for getting the police involved in September of last year, when he was the one who appointed him, even though he hated him. And the feeling was mutual.
I feel that what's going on right now in the Labour Party is actually this was going on in the lobby when I was a junior journalist on the Evening Standard, right, in politics, and it was called the TBGBs, and this was Tony Blair, Gordon Brown. This is when Gordon Brown would you know, a budget, and literally the day before, Tony Blair and his people would be going, "What's in the budget?" And Gordon would be like, "No." And this guy, Charlie Whelan, remember Charlie Whelan? And Charlie Whelan worked for Gordon Brown, and he would be briefing journalists on one side of the office, and on the other side, you'd get the Alistair Campbells and then you'd Peter Mandelson briefing, you know, the Tony Blair side of things. And there was this ongoing battle. There is no love lost between these people, and there's no doubt at all that Gordon Brown brought Peter Mandelson back because I need somebody who can operate, who can help me stay this sinking ship. But then we understand from these emails with Epstein that basically Mandelson was trying to boot Gordon Brown out, as it wasn't until after he'd already lost the election, and then they were doing these negotiations with the Lib Dems, and basically everyone made it clear no one is willing to work with Gordon Brown. He's going to have to go. Bye smelly, one of the emails. But I mean, I feel like we are in the middle of a very, very vicious, long-standing family war.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
This is the Labour Party at war with itself.
And I think it'll do for the PM. I really, really do, because you only have to look back over history. Profumo brought down a government, and this is worse.
Why?
The Minister of War at the time lied to Parliament, and that's what did for him. He had the affair with Christine Keir, yada, yada,
probably giving her secrets which were going to the Russians.
And that's the point. But he lied about it, and that's what saw him off. I think this one is worse. This is connections with a known paedophile. This is monetary transactions. This is potentially leaking sensitive market information across.
Well, and also it's how much was known by, how much should have been.
Exactly.
How was known or should have reasonably been known for proper vetting had taken place by the government, or was there just such desperation from Morgan McSweeney to get his mate, his mentor, into government So into that role, and again, Peter Mandelson keeps saying he had no financial benefit. Well, apart from the 75 grand and the 10 grand to his now husband, but also then getting a job, a multi-million-pound job afterwards. But again, every single job on that basis, you know, you're getting helped, aren't you?
Yeah, of course you are. So it's all of the indirect help and assistance that made him into a financially well-off individual.
Yeah, absolutely. It is absolutely. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your reaction to Adam Bolton on that. I wanted to get him on because I am flabbergasted by you know, people sort of saying, you know, we just didn't know then. You go back, you look at how many people, politicians, journalists, people who'd worked with Peter Mandelson were saying, you shouldn't appoint this guy. It's going to blow up in your face. It's blown up in the Prime Minister's face and the country's face. Because I'm sorry, he was representing Britain. That is a diplomatic role. You need, you know what? You need to be whiter than white in that role. And he was blacker than black. I'd love to hear your